Hey guys, we are live. I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today I have you guys a brand new guest. I have the ATL Resell Guy is here with me. How are you doing today?
Pretty good, Jeff. How's it going?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm glad to see you and talk to you today. Thanks for taking time out of your day to jump on and hang out with us today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for reaching out.
Yeah, for sure, man. So I'm a subscriber of your YouTube channel. I've been following you for a recent subscriber. I've supporting your channel and watching some of your content. So the ATL Resale Guy, if you guys haven't guessed, he is a reseller. So kind of introduce yourself, tell everybody kind of who you are, where you're from, and kind of tell people what it is that you do.
Yeah, ATL Resell Guy on YouTube and Instagram. Obviously, I'm from Atlanta. Otherwise, the name would be a little bit deceptive. But yeah, I source and resell mostly in Northeast or Northwest Atlanta. I go to places like thrift stores, Goodwills. I try to find things that are underpriced at those places and then in turn flip them on eBay for profit.
Yeah, I'm with you. So do you do a lot of yard sales? Do you go to pawn shops as well? That's kind of underrated. Have you done that lately?
Yeah, I would love to go to more garage sales. My work schedule, since I do this part time, I work all throughout the weekend. And obviously, garage sales are mostly Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And those are days that I just have to be at work. So I'm not available for those, unfortunately. So
I'm with you. I'm with you. So kind of tell me, how long have you been reselling now?
a few years started during the pandemic, really, 2020, and just took that opportunity to find things on Facebook Marketplace. Is kind of how it started because everybody was strapped for cash at that point, man. So people were selling off like crazy stuff, crazy good deals at bargain basement prices. And I was in a position, fortunately, where I could swoop in, take those things off their hand. And that's just where the bug kind of hit me.
I'm with you, bro. Yeah, I think during the lockdowns that we had, people were like, they had like a bundle for like the Nintendo Wii bundle for like $20, and it came with like two controllers and like 10 games or something. And
Yeah.
so they would like put the stuff in like a bag or a box out by the mailbox.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they were scared to get in contact with people. So I would leave the money in the mailbox.
Slip a
I would get
$20 bill under the mat.
yeah, I would put like a $20 thing in the mailbox. I would grab the stuff, put it in the back seat of my car, and I would buy like 3 bundles or something in one
Yeah.
day. And then I would come home, chop them all up, sell off the controllers individually, sell off all the games individually, and then I go home and test the systems and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
if you look like on OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp, some of these deals, they have stuff like that where you can get this stuff where maybe people are moving, maybe someone
Right.
got a divorce, maybe someone like where I live at in Florida, there's a lot of snowbirds that come down for the wintertime and then they'll leave and some of the stuff they don't want to take with them. So you can find some good deals there.
Yeah,
So
moving sales definitely. OfferUp, I've done that a little bit in the past, but what I just find is it's so bogged down now with like ads and links and like you can't find what you're looking for really on OfferUp anymore, at least in my experience.
well, I mean, I guess it depends where you live. You can go to OfferUp, you can check Craigslist, you could go
Sure.
Facebook Marketplace, there's yard sales. But anyways, if you guys look, also I'll tell you a little secret. If you go look on the free section, like on Craigslist or OfferUp, and you check like after the yard sales are over,
Uh-huh.
sometimes people have a whole lot of stuff like
They just
maybe
put it on the curb.
left over from the yard sale that they didn't sell and they didn't want to drag it back in their garage. So they'll put it out in the street curb and you can come by and load the whole trunk of your car up for, $3.99. All right. And then you can
Man,
have a whole carload of stuff. And then whatever's trash, you throw in the trash. Whatever you don't want, you donate. And whatever you want to resell, you could resell. So we're live. If you guys want to ask our guest questions, you could drop it in the chat. I'm going to give a quick shout out here to my buddy Jen from Jen's Multiverse. She's a YouTuber as well, and she's been killing it lately on Whatnot. So if you guys get a chance, go and check her channel out. And my brother is in the chat. So if you guys have questions for our guests, drop it in the chat. So you've been reselling now for a couple of years during kind of the pandemic. Now tell me kind of like, how has you been reselling now? How has that helped you and your family out? Because you still have your regular 9 to 5 job and you're still doing that. And then you're kind of reselling on the side. So how has this extra income helped you out? Have you maybe, helped to pay off some debt or paid for a vacation or Give us
A
the
little
down.
bit of everything. So we were living together in an apartment at the time that I started reselling, and really just started out like, hey, can I use this just to pay bills and rent, and just have this as a supplemental income that's going to allow me to save the money that I make at my full-time job, and just use this just to, pay cell phone and power bill and rent and stuff like that. And it definitely did, and it grew even past that.
Yeah.
We just recently bought a house in the previous year to when we got married. So yeah, it's
So
and so
you
now that's turned into try to pay the mortgage with it.
so now you and your wife went and bought a house, and now you're taking an extra money you're making from reselling to pay the bills, right?
Exactly. Yeah, man. Yeah,
So
it's been a
is your wife
blessing for sure.
supportive? Is she like, why do we have a garage full of stuff or all this?
Uh,
Whatever. No,
I'm an extremely lucky man. She's been very understanding in how just storing the stuff that you acquire starts to get away from you a little bit. And she's never really bugged out about, having just stuff everywhere all over the place. But yeah, like you said, our garage is a 1-car garage down from a 2-car garage. And I've bought those plastic shelves that, you see all the time that are like 5-tier plastic shelves, and I've lined like my entire garage with it with rows. So I've got all my inventory pretty organized in there. So
yeah. The biggest thing that I always run into is just having space to store everything. That's
yeah,
great if you can get an item for 50 cents and sell it for $20, or if you can buy bundle deals and resell it on eBay. But it's like it always comes down to you having, enough capital to invest, space to store everything, and then you
well,
have to be able to reinvest some of that capital to get more inventory, and
if you
time to,
are go ahead.
time to actually sit down and list it.
If you're not as reliant as people that do this full time, you can be a little bit more picky in the things that you acquire, and you can really start to analyze sell through rate, which is going to determine whether you're going to hold on to this thing for a year or if you're going to list it and it's going to sell within 3 days. So sell through rate is a huge thing that you want to consider when you're purchasing stuff to resell.
All right, cool. We got a question in the chat from Jacob here. He says, hey, how slow was the growth in the beginning and when did it take off? So when you first got started in reselling, did you kind of like look for stuff laying around your house and it's like say, hey, I had these old, shoes or video games or CDs or DVDs or Blu-ray stuff laying around the house? Or
So
kind of like how you got started when you started reselling?
that's actually the recommended way, is to just find things that you have that you don't need and list them on eBay. That's really what's recommended, but I didn't do that. I started watching YouTubers like myself and just analyze the things that they're going out and sourcing for, and just going to my local Goodwills and finding the same kind of thing and listing them. To answer his question, it was a little slow. I mean, the first 3 months or so takes a little bit of time because you have zero feedback on there. You're not a trusted seller. But I was fortunate to start doing this during the pandemic, like we were talking about, people selling off video games, and it just coincided with a blow up of people buying video games at outrageous prices too. So once I started finding those good bundles on Facebook Marketplace and all that and listing them, my sales started to take off. Got the eBay seller, whatever it is, the approved seller, and high rated and all that within the first like 6 months or so.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys a secret. Now, when you get started on eBay, if you don't have feedback, you can buy some stuff on eBay and you'll get your feedback rating. So try to get your
True.
feedback up over 100. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff you can get, like little ink pens or belt buckles or little stuff that you can get, a stamp. There's trading cards, stuff you can get for 50 cents, 99 cents, $1, whatever. And you can get stuff really cheap.
That's
and
good
that way
too.
you can get your feedback up. And once you get your feedback up over 100, then you'll get like a little star, and that'll help out your feedback as well. So there's little tricks to it that you learn along the way. My brother has a question in the chat. He says, how many items do you currently have listed on your eBay store? What is your return on investment and your cost of goods? So you specialize in selling a lot of video games, but you'll resell whatever you can get a good deal on, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not super picky. I stick mostly within electronics just because I feel like it's important to have an interest in whatever you're trying to sell, just because you're going to be spending a ton of time with this stuff. And I like electronics. I like fiddling with them. I like testing them out. So, I sell DVD, VCR combos. I sell video games. I sell cameras, little electronic toys and stuff. Just a mixed bag of everything. Shoes. I sell a lot of shoes too. But yeah, really anything that I can get at a good deal, that I can look on eBay and see proven sales, that I know that there's going to be a return on investment in that. To answer his question, I do sales videos on my channel where at the end of the video, I'll tally up all the total sales that I featured. I'll break down my cost of goods and everything, and I'll say what my return on investment was. And usually it's 60% or so, which I think is a pretty nice come up for sure. So yeah, like if I had $900 in sales after cost of goods, shipping fees, I typically net about 600 or something like that.
Yep. So kind of give us kind of like your thoughts or your piece of advice as far as reselling goes. What is it that you're looking for specifically? I know you mentioned maybe buying bundle deals on Facebook Marketplace. It's kind of tell people, is there anything in particular that you're looking for? Because what I would do sometimes is I would look through listings that are old listings, guys, that are like 3 months, 6 months old, that maybe that are still up, posted.
Yeah.
No one's hit them up and their stuff hasn't sold yet. So
Yes.
you're not fighting against 10 other people for the same item. So if you look, let's say you look on OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace, and you find a big bundle of stuff that maybe they had posted, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, or maybe they forgot about it and it's in their closet somewhere, it's in their basement, in their attic,
Sure.
and they forgot about it. And then maybe they had it listed for $100, and maybe you just message them out of the blue and say, "Hey, man, you happen to have that bundle of video games or whatever it is that you're selling?" And sometimes they message you, sometimes they don't. They say, "Oh yeah, I do have it." And then maybe if they were asking $100, maybe you can offer them 40, $50 for it or something, because they've already forgot about it. It's clutter. It's taking up room in their in their closet. They just wanted to get rid of it or whatever. So look for older listings, so that way you're not like arm wrestling with 10 other people for a brand new listing, because they're much more lenient as far as their price, because they just want the stuff going. But what could you give us tips or piece of advice as far as your sourcing of what you do?
Yeah, that's a pretty good approach, because you definitely have leverage in that situation where you know that it's been listed for a certain length of time, and you know that they're probably likely to be willing to accept much less than they initially had it listed for. My area, as far as like Facebook Marketplace, is super competitive, really, really competitive. Anything that's really desirable and that's a good deal, it's gone in an hour. Like literally, it's listed. If you don't see it within 5 minutes and be the first person to jump on it and be available to get there within the next 20 minutes, you're never going to be able to get it. So yeah, you have to be really on top of that. And I don't have time to just sit there and scour it like that. But anything that sits for a while, that's when you kind of know that it might be something that's less desirable. If nobody's jumped on it like they have in what I was just talking about, they're likely items that are overpriced or even at market price, and the only people that are interested in them are resellers like myself. So it's hit or miss like that. You might be able to scoop up a decent deal with that approach, but I mean, all the high dollar stuff in my area, at least, is going to be gone in minutes.
All right, cool. Let me give a quick shout out here to Silver Hair Stacker in the chat. Says, "Hey, are you guys seeing summer slowdown? You've been doing well. I've been checking your channel out, but have your sales been pretty consistent lately, or has it been slow?"
I mean, it's gone down in terms of 90-day sales totals, but a part of that is me just not having time to be actively listing every single day. I'm spread pretty thin doing some other things. So I imagine if I have been as active as I have in the past, listing at least like 5 things a day just to kind of keep the algorithm in your favor, I imagine you could probably fight the summer slowdown, I would think. But that's what it's all about. You just got to stay on the platform, just like YouTube. eBay wants to see that you're an active user. You don't list 20 things and then don't use the platform for a year. They're not going to promote your stuff. So they want to see people that are constantly putting things up for sale, constantly being right on top of shipping. When an item sells, you ship it out right away. The algorithm looks at those things. So that's how you fight it. You just stay active.
Yeah, I mean, be a consistent listing on eBay. You can also do markdown sales. Maybe you can put your items on sale for 10%, 15% off or whatever to get people's attention. Also,
Yeah,
you can do promoted listings as well, where you can promote your stuff and you'll get a higher placement in the search rank. So
definitely.
let's say, for example, I'm selling this DVD, Dancing in September. Okay. Let's say I paid 50 cents for it and I'm selling it for 20 bucks, let's say. But the problem is on eBay, there may be 200 people on eBay selling the same exact item as me, the
Yeah.
same condition, same color, same everything. But if you sign up for eBay's promoted listings, maybe instead of your item being number 199 on the list, you would show up on the first page of the search engine and it will drive more traffic to your listing.
Yeah, with
And
that kind of margin, you definitely can, because that's a huge, huge margin that if you just pay $2 or whatever the promoted fee would be, it's still worth it to do something like that.
yeah, I'm just saying you can check into it and do promoted listings as well and kind of mess with that as well. But yeah, so tell me a little bit about what would be your top 3 tips or piece of advice to help someone out with their reselling business, whether they want to get into it doing it part time or maybe they're like you and they have a full time job, maybe they
Right.
have a family and they just want to do something on the side to make some extra income, maybe to to pay off some bills, or maybe they wanted to get us money for a down payment to buy a house like you did.
Yeah, so it's definitely not something that if you have no experience, I wouldn't recommend trying to do it full time, just because it takes time to gain the proper knowledge in all the different aspects in sourcing items, in knowing where to find things, in knowing how to price items, and knowing how to pack and ship and price, weigh out items before you offer it on sale so that you're not getting screwed on shipping on the back end. Like there's a learning curve for sure. So you want to be sure that it's something that you kind of I recommend at least tip your toe into it, see if it's something that you enjoy doing. Tip number one is just start slow. Start slow. Like we were talking about before, find things that you have sitting around. That way you're not dumping money into it as an investment if you don't know that it's going to work out. So find a couple things here and there around the house. That's a good way to just get some sales under your belt. And yeah, don't dump a huge investment into it. Like say you found a listing that's 8,000 baseball cards or something like that, and you literally know nothing about baseball cards or the values or anything, but it just appears like it's a good deal. Don't fall victim to those kinds of situations just because it seems like it would be a great opportunity, because there may be a reason why this person is trying to offload all these cards. They have likely tried to already sell them themselves and
Yeah.
were not successful. So you'll see listings like that on Facebook Marketplace or whatever all the time, where it seems like it's a bundle of something. As a reseller, I can recognize it. It seems like it's a bundle of something that somebody has attempted to sell and just hasn't had any luck with it. You'll see it with Hot Wheels cars. You might see it with like Pokemon, or just Lego, whatever. So yeah, don't fall victim to going into a deal blind when you have no experience with it. It's just you'll end up sitting with it and ultimately doing the same thing that the person that sold it to you did, and taking a loss essentially. So that's tip number one. Tip number two is do your research on items. I mean, it kind of falls in hand. A lot of this stuff will be related, but research items. Make sure to look at eBay sold comps. Find model numbers on items. Look at sell-through rate. That is huge. That's really how I've grown as a reseller. Anytime I found something in the beginning that I just saw recent solds and a margin on, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll buy it. And I end up sitting with it for a year and a half. So look at sell-through rates, because like you were saying on your DVD, if there's 200 listed and only 10 have sold in the last 3 months or something like that, you know that the demand for that particular item is pretty low. So I'm looking for things that are a minimum 50% sell-through rate. For instance, if I find an item that looks interesting, I look up sold comps and there's 100 that are currently listed on eBay. I look at the last 3 months sales. I want to see at least 50 sold in the last 3 months of that particular item to be confident that I'm not going to sell in this thing for a long time. What's really great is if you see 100 listed and there's 200 sold in the last 3 months, you know that this item is flying off the shelves. There's more demand for it than there are listings. So in turn, you don't have to undercut your competition as far as the way you price that particular item.
Yeah. I'm with you. Do you have one more tip that you can leave our audience with?
Yeah. I actually made a video on subjects like this, so I'm trying to refer back to that. Yeah, just like we were talking before, make sure it's something that you enjoy dealing with, because you're going to be hands-on with this stuff. I enjoy testing out electronics. I enjoy playing video games. I actually use my reselling business as a way to acquire some things that I want for a personal collection as far as my video game collection is concerned. So buy a big bundle that has a few things in it that I want to keep and sell off the rest of it, which essentially makes the stuff that I keep come in free. So yeah, find an interest, a niche. At first, it's okay to kind of just go broad and look for anything that you think you can find a margin on. But eventually, you're going to want to niche down, and then just have the proper shipping stuff to be able to ship the stuff out when it actually sells. Because there's nothing worse than selling an item and you've got one more day to ship it out and you don't have the packing equipment or the packing stuff that you need. You have to run to the store and buy tape and boxes and come back. And it's just have all that stuff ready to go when you're going to actually take it seriously.
Cool. We had a question in the chat from Jacob. He says, what is the most expensive item that you have ever sold?
So I usually, I don't go for like grails or like super expensive items. Probably in like the $200 to $300 range or something like that. I've sold some high-end shoes. I've sold some high-end video games. Sold some bundles that I put together for like an old GameCube bundle with a bunch of games for a few $100s, I would imagine. But yeah, single item, I can't really. Yeah. Probably a digital camera or something like that, like a really like desirable vintage retro digital camera that was probably about a couple $100 that I acquired for like $5 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm with you. The most expensive item I sold on eBay before was a pickup truck, and it's sold on eBay for $20,000. So you can sell anything on eBay. That's why I love it. And recently, I had a bundle of video games, and in this bundle, this guy sold me. I think I got it off Craigslist or something, and he gave me like a whole like Kroger bag of video games. Yeah. And I get home and I'm into them like for 50 cents a piece, and I pull it out, and this is video game, and it's called like Lunar Star, and it's a rare vintage
PlayStation 1
role-playing game. Yeah. So I look it up on eBay, and it sold for $200, and I've got like 50 cents tied up in it.
Yeah.
So
PlayStation 1 RPGs, Bolo those, man. All the PlayStation 1 RPGs, the Final Fantasies, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. If you see this stuff and they quit making it 20, 30 years ago, and you buy big wholesale lots of stuff, sooner or later you're going to come across something, and even if it's not in perfect condition, it's discontinued and it's rare, and you can look it up on eBay, and kind of some of the stuff you can kind of name your price because they ain't making it no more. So yeah, you every once in a while you'll come across a home run, but for me, a lot of the items that I like selling are items that are, I think I heard a quote, I think it was Daily Refinement, and he said that like 80 to 90% of all the stuff that sells on eBay is $30 and less. Yep. So a lot of the items that I sell are, items that are $15, $20, $30 items, because that's where 90% of your customer base is from. When you start selling your items above that $30 mark, you're already getting rid of 90% of your customer base that want to buy something, because they don't want to have to explain to their husband or wife where this $100 came from in their credit card, But if you said, hey, it was Jimmy's birthday and I bought him this video game for $20, there's not going to be an argument about it, So I kind of look at the bread and butter item.
I don't think that I did it intentionally, but that's where just I ultimately kind of landed. Anything $15 to $30 that I can get for $2 or $3, and that seems to be like what my most consistent sales are. But yeah, with those PlayStation games, it's getting fewer and far between to get those home runs, because just the knowledge is out there for people to know what they have versus what it was in the past. That like, there's tons of resellers, tons of YouTubers that are putting out the information for anybody and everybody to find. And it's as simple as 1, 2, 3 to look at an item. Everybody knows to look up values on eBay by this point.
Yeah, so, especially if stuff's got a barcode. I could just download that, a barcode. Yeah. So real quickly, tell people a little bit about your YouTube channel. I want to kind of promote your YouTube channel because I think you're close to 500 subscribers.
Yeah.
I would like to see you sometime between now and Christmas hit 1,000. So kind of tell people a little bit about the content that you make on your YouTube channel, and they can go by and check you out. Tell them a little bit about your channel.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. Some of it is going out first person sourcing. I've been to flea markets, I've been to Goodwills, thrift stores, every now and again a garage sale when I have the opportunity to. I highlight sales in different videos as well. So I go and pick items from where I store them. I tell you about where I got them, what I paid for them, and how much they sold for. Some of it is big bundle deals. Like I just most recently did a Facebook Marketplace buyout of a reseller who didn't feel like testing and listing video games and consoles and all that. So I bought her entire inventory. So I love those videos because it's just like there's so much content to be able to just dig through and find cool stuff. So that's my most recent like haul video, I guess you would say. I've got a church sale that I go to every few months or so where this church takes in donations from just people that want to give to their cause and their efforts. And the guy knows me. I've done a lot of business with him, 4 or 5 different deals. So literally I just go to this church. They've got this shed that they keep all their electronics in, and I get to just go dig through and find awesome items. That's always fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, just do like one-offs here and there. Like this next video, I'm testing a disc resurfacer, which is, one of those machines that you can put a scratch disc in, turn it on, and I'm testing it and evaluating it, doing an
Right.
unboxing, and just kind of, so I mix it up a little bit, but I try to stay grounded within video games because that's my biggest interest. I have a collection that is ever growing, and I know a lot of people that watch the channel are interested in that kind of content too. So yeah, a lot of the items and just like featured stuff is video game related.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. It sounds great. I subscribe to your channel.
Cool,
Hopefully, all you
appreciate
guys
it.
are watching will. The link to our guest is going to be down below for YouTube and Instagram. So let them know where they can find you at and follow you out on YouTube and Instagram. They can come by and subscribe to your channel and check you out.
Definitely. Yeah. Again, thank you for having me on. I appreciate that. It's ATL Resell Guy on Instagram and YouTube. And I'm actually doing a giveaway. Once my channel hits 500 subscribers, I'm giving away 100 video games that are on different consoles: PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, Xbox, and Xbox 360. 4 stacks of 25 games. So there's
Yeah.
going to be 4 winners once the channel hits 500 subscribers. Look for that video. If you like, I can send you a link so that you can include it with this post as well. So that's a little incentive for people to subscribe, get on board, watch the content, and 4 people are going to win 25 video games once we hit 500.
Yeah, man, keep hustling. I've been watching your videos. Your channel kind of reminds me a little bit of Chase After the Right Price
Oh,
mixed
cool.
with Patty Picker. So that's kind of what your channel reminds me of a little bit. And
Well,
keep
those are
hustling.
2 big inspirations, so I appreciate that.
Well, I'm just telling you, this kind of what comes to mind. So
That's
if you
cool.
guys go ahead and support our guests, all the links going to be down below for YouTube and Instagram. And before we let you go, I got to put you on the spot. What are some of your goals that you're working on this year for 2023? Maybe it's not reselling related or YouTube related, but what are maybe some of your goals or projects that you're working on this year for 2023?
Well, my wife would say that the number one is to get this backyard all completely landscaped and ready to go. So we've built retaining walls back there. We've built walking gravel paths. We're extending patios out. We're planting. We've got trees and vegetables and fruits and everything growing out there. So my wife would tell me that's my biggest priority. And that's where all my free time has kind of been right now. Obviously, a goal is to get monetized and get to 1,000 subscribers. That's not why I do this. I truly enjoy making media and content. I produce all my own music for all my videos. I like cutting together videos. I like coming up with ideas. I like designing thumbnail art. All this stuff is just a passion and a hobby of mine that I would be doing anyway if it wasn't for YouTube. So this just kind of gives me an outlet, a medium to direct all of my creative juices into. So that's pretty much what I got going on. We'd love to actually Oh, sorry about that. I got
It's all right.
distracted.
All right.
I got
So
distracted by something going on outside.
it's
So
okay. I told
there's a
ATL
random
Resell
person
Guy
walking by.
someone for 30 minutes. So kind of give us your final thoughts, and then we'll let you go. And hopefully we'll have you back on again sometime. That'd be cool, right?
Yeah, man. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Yep. Give us your final thoughts, and then we'll let you go.
Oh, this has been great. I'm always looking to team up with people and, join efforts together. I've done this with a guy, Alex, that did something similar. He did kind of like a channel audit. So what we talked about was ways that I could improve some things on my channel, things that I am doing well. And yeah, it's always cool to team up and bounce back ideas off each other and hopefully grow our knowledge base and our experience by doing that.
Yeah, man, just keep doing what you're doing. And you know what they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. So you just keep doing what you're doing, and you'll look up in 3 months, 6 months from now, and you'll be surprised at where you go. So,
Yeah,
anyways,
man.
guys, support our reselling community and reselling friends. All the links are going to be listed down below for YouTube and Instagram, and go by and check them out. The ATL Resell Guy, and we will catch you guys in the next video. I will see you guys next time. Hopefully, you guys have a great day. Okay, bye, guys.
Peace.